when you're ready, go ahead and start that intro and all that fun jazz, because hopefully we can at least get that interview in. This game is at halftime already. How is that even possible? God, those guys must start at they tipped off at 1 o'clock and it's 1:50 and they're at half already? It's unbelievable. This is why it's cool. Bill Greehey Arena, glad to be with you here in San Antonio, Texas for this Lone Star tilt between the St. Mary's Rattlers and the Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas. Hi everybody, Andrew Stossmeister on behalf of our entire crew from Buddy and Anna Meyer Court. Glad to hang out with you on this Saturday afternoon. The St. Mary's Rattlers come in winners in their last four. Picked up a 9-point victory on Thursday against Texas A&M International. Jessie Barbosa had her first career double-double. Helped the lead come back after it ballooned as big as 20. Got down to a 3-point game in the last 5 minutes, but the Rattlers found a way to push it out to a 9-point victory. And this team continues to build from a home victory, something that hadn't happened very much. It was just the second home win of the campaign this season. On the other side, the Javelinas led by first-year head coach Michael Madrid, who was at UTEP for the last couple of years. Talented coach who has worked his way up through the ranks. Probably going to get Kingsville turned around, but so far in his first year, it has been a mixed bag so far. His program has lost 8 of their last 10 games coming in. You wonder how's their confidence doing. You talk with the head coach a little bit, and he's hopeful that they can play well here tonight, but they kind of seem to go in and out. They have some talented players, to say the least. That's what, that's spoken like a guy that's been around doing this a long time. A talented player in Reve Payne has really played pretty good basketball in her last 2 months of the season. But the Rattlers trying to find a way to get above 500. They're currently 7-7. The Javelinas are 3-9. This will be the 51st meeting all time between these two programs. It is led currently by Kingsville 26-24. But you look at the last 12, 9 of those are victories for the Rattlers. Does St. Mary's have their longest winning streak of the season at 5 games, or do the Javelinas come in and find a way to pull off a surprising upset? It's always fun to be able to see Lone Star Conference basketball on a Saturday from San Antonio. We'll take a break. When we come back, Jason Martins will join us. We'll get a couple of comments from the head coach on this afternoon's matchup. He's also going for a milestone win here today. We'll see if he pulls that out and his team is victorious. Rattlers, Javelinas coming up. We're back with more next on the Lone Star Conference Network. And good afternoon. Welcome out to Bill Greehey Arena. Glad to have you with us for this Lone Star Conference battle between the St. Mary's Rattlers and the Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas. Anders Dossmeister, good to be with you once again here from San Antonio. Rattlers and Javelinas meeting for the 51st meeting all time. Kingsville, the slight edge, 26-24, but recent memory has the Rattlers winning 9 of their last 12. Starting lineups look like this for Texas A&M Kingsville. We'll see Bridget Upton, a sophomore to George West, Texas, averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds per game. She's a sophomore. We'll also see Reve Payne. She's a talented player. It seems like she comes out of nowhere throughout with what she's able to do. It looks like actually they've changed it. She's going to come off the bench. So we'll see Treasure Mouton, the junior out of Houston, transfer from Temple College, will get the call here to go today. We'll also see Jalen Johnson, averaging 8 points and 4 rebounds, the sophomore transfer from Tyler Junior College. Also out there is Anastasia Mickens, the 5'11 junior out of Beaumont, Texas, transfer from Sam Houston State. Up and down results from her this season. The head coach Michael Madrid in his first season, 3-9. Overall, his group is 3-9, 2-8 in Lone Star Conference play. They are also 1-3 in the division. St. Mary's will look like this. Soteria Banks, the junior out of Round Rock, averaging 18 and 5. Had just the second time she had not scored at least 10 points on Thursday. She had 8 points trying to refine her game. We'll see Alexia Torres. She's been on a tear this season, especially in the last 4 games. In terms of assists, more than 5 in each of the last 4 contests. The senior out of San Antonio is averaging 5.5 points per game. Riley Perkins, the freshman out of Houston, will also start for the 9th time this year, averaging 5 points and a couple of rebounds. She had 14 in the victory on Thursday. Hannah Wilson, the 6'3 junior out of Fredericksburg, will also start, averaging 9 points and 9 rebounds. She fouled out of the game in the victory on Thursday. And then Jessie Barbosa, fresh off her first career double-double, will also give it a go, averaging 4 points and 7 rebounds. But Jessie's got 53 boards in the last 4 games. Jason Martin's going for his 250th career win here this afternoon. He's in his 14th season. He has won 64% of the games played. Here we go. Rattlers are in the whites. The Kingsville Javelinas in. They will come right to our left here this afternoon. Rattlers have won 4 in a row. Kingsville has jumped out and struggled. They've lost 8 of their last 10, including a loss on Thursday up in Austin. Barbosa with it, blocked to the right, backing her way down, fakes right, goes left, shot is up, it is no good. Rebound underneath, brought in by Anastasia Mickens, and Kingsville will have it for the first time. A low-scoring team under first-year head coach Michael Madrid, who has watched his team average just 50 points a game. In fact, they've only gotten to 60 once. They have really struggled shooting the basketball as Bridget Upton's shot misses off the iron and out of bounds it goes. St. Mary's will take over here in the first 45 seconds of action from San Antonio. Rattlers are 2-5 this season at home. Javelinas on the road this year are 2-6. St. Mary's averaging 66 a game. As we mentioned, they won on Thursday against International. Played pretty well. They got out to a 20-point victory, but as we heard from team has it. Kingsville up top around the arc it goes with Mickens. Reverse it back around. Man-to-man defense to start as Upton curls around, runs into trouble. We'll have to throw it back out wide. As again, Kingsville trying to look on. What does their head coach want them to do? They like to move the ball side to side, but it's been very inconsistent as Solis drops the ball off with a second left, and I think they're going to call a kicked ball. And that's big. That'll rotate the things back to 20 on the shot clock. Catching a break, it looks like, for the Javelinas. They'll have an inbounds left of the baseline. 8:38 to play. Quarter number 1. There is no score. Inbounds comes in wide. Jalen Johnson has got it. Kingsville with a couple of returners back from a year ago, picked 13th in the preseason. They are 2-8 in conference play, but like all road teams are, they lost the first of the 2. Can they get one here on the road as Johnson fires a 3 straight on and hits it, and it's 3-0. The Javelinas as a team averaging 5 makes, just under that per game this season. As Torres will go to work on offense. Attacking in the half court left, Riley Perkins. Most of the season in the conference, she's right now third. 5 to shoot. Wilson block left, gives it back out. Perkins, three-pointers, too strong. Rebound chased, and it's won by Brianna Solis. And Texas A&M Kingsville will slow it down as Coach Mattern saying, hey, look, I'm happy. We're happy scoring 50 a game. The key is to keep teams underneath that mark, and they've done a good job.
Good defense this season. The Javelinas. Good drive. That time a little too strong from Mouton, but she gets her own rebound. Back out to Johnson. Three-pointer is up. It is short. Ball comes back out again. Mouton's got it. And Kingsville with early advantages as Coach Martin's not liking it. He wants to see his team hustling for those loose basketballs, but a bit sluggish to start here in the first 2 minutes and 50 seconds as the pull-up jumper's up and good. Johnson knocks it down. And a good start for the visitors out of Kingsville. Just south of town, 150 miles or so, not too bad. One of the easier treks, but again, coming down from Austin, this is by far one of the shorter trips that are out there for Kingsville. 5-0 here at the 3-minute and 10. Double gives it up to Briley Perkins. Throw across to Jesse Barbosa. Now working around to Torres underneath. Good passes, but Wilson traveled with it. She throws up an awkward shot. It was blocked. Give credit to the block that time underneath the Mickens, but you can tell just a little bit of hesitancy for the Rattlers here as they start this game 0 for 3 from the field. They do have a turnover. They had some issues with that, especially in the beginning on Thursday of their victory, and it's going to be a 7-0 run to begin this game, and Coach Martin's not happy. Rotation was weak underneath, and because of that, Coach Martin's has to call a timeout. We'll take a 60-second timeout, 7-0. St. Mary's leading. We're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network. 6:20 to play here in this first quarter. Rattlers out-rebounded 5-1. That's why the quick timeout came from Jason Martin, starting to get his team back and refocus. We'll see how they come out of the timeout. Jesse Barbosa is on the bench. Sydney Hardiman comes in for the first time. That's the change as Torres and this Rattler offense goes to work. Wilson's got three players shadowing her. Soteria Banks with it back out to Sydney Hardiman. They get it down low on the right block to Wilson. He turns over the right shoulder. She missed it. Rebound out wide. Jalen Johnson's got it. Texas A&M Kingsville basketball. The Javelinas averaging 49.8 points a game, as mentioned, but they've scored a little bit more in their last few games. I mean, they seem to get to that 50 to 55 range pretty consistently, and they've won there twice in their recent 10 games as that shot is off. Rebound underneath Hannah Wilson and St. Mary's. Rattlers come back with it. St. Mary's 7-7 on the year. They are 6-4 in conference play. Briley Perkins with it off the left wing, drives. Good-looking move by Briley. She's fouled on the NCAA logo, and that'll be the first personal foul against either team. That one goes on Bridget Upton, the sophomore to George West, Texas. Actually, I think they move that number. They will move it over and instead give it to Madison Lucas, I beg your pardon, the Houston product. Talented player in the private school rankings the last 4 years in her first season in Kingsville. Soteria Banks with it, trying to get going. Finds Sydney Hardiman, right side. Foot is on the line. 2-pointers up, and it's good. And the Rattlers are on the scoreboard after missing their first 4 shots. You know, and I think you can see it, talking with Coach Martins and knowing him well enough the last couple of years, you got to come out and be focused. Otherwise, teams that will come in here and jump you makes it such a hard hill to try to climb back over to the top. Upton with it, gives the ball up top. Working it around. Angelica Wall getting her first minutes of the game as that ball is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Kingsville Javelinas as they will substitute again and go grab another player, Megan Palmer, who will come in and grab a couple of minutes. 7-2 our score. We're in the opening quarter. Kingsville 3 of 7 to open this game, but they have been dominant on the boards, and that's allowed them to build a 5-point edge right now. Angelica Wall with it, holding it wing right, 2 to shoot, got a hustle, drive down the lane, awkward shot is no good. Sydney Hardeman the rebound, St. Mary's with it as they go back on offense. Good defensive set for St. Mary's. Rattlers have done such a good job there with that defense to set up the offense as Banks loses the ball, but it's out of bounds off for the backside of Angelica Wall as Bella Hughes comes in. Briley Perkins will sub out for St. Mary's. Kingsville to the bench as well as Lucas with a short spurt comes out. Treasure Mouton back in. Hardeman and St. Mary's will inbound it. Hughes catches fire. Shot is short. And a rebound chased down underneath by Megan Palmer, the freshman out of Midlothian, Texas. 7-2 here, the 4:23 mark of quarter number 1. Rattlers are a bit flat. Kingsville with a good edge. They've done a good job chasing down the offensive rebound a few times for some second chance opportunities as Wall drops it off to Upton. Two-pointer is up. No, they call it a 3. Looked like she was just behind the line enough. It looked like, said the trailing official. And it's a 10-2.
Another board, and it's a 10-2 basketball game right now. St. Mary's trailing. They have struggled from the field. 3:13 to go. Rattlers 2 of 11 to begin this basketball game. They're -8 on the glass. Wall with it in the left corner. Gives the ball back out.
It in. 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Excellent pass and another open shooter, Jalen Johnson. And right now, Jason Martin's all he can do is sit down and squeeze the water bottle. He's got 3 new players that are going to come in for the first time here. The next dead ball whistle. Banks holding on to it on the Rattler logo. St. Mary's down 10 points here on their home floor. Hardeman trying another 3. That one still won't go. A rebound to Upton, and the Javelinas have it back. Hustle. Upton shot is up, it is good. And Jason Martin's hand in his pocket shakes his head, and Michael Madrid loves every bit of it as we got a whistle and stoppage of play as the Javelinas, with a good start to this basketball game, have come out and jumped St. Mary's on their home floor 14. This is 3-on-1. Culver tries to bounce it. It doesn't get there very easily. Hardeman on the deck. And a reach-in foul is called on Kingsville. And quite honestly, probably the best thing that could have happened to them is Treasure Mouton was the only player back and had a chance to at least make it more difficult for St. Mary's. And when you have things that aren't really working for you, you kind of look at it and say, okay, what do you do? How do you make it all work?
struggles getting this one going. They're not shooting the ball very well at all, as the ball deflects back out and is pulled in by Jalen Johnson. 16-2, Rattlers are 1 of 3. They are officially 0 of 7 from behind the arc. Ball moves around to the left side as Mouton trying to find it. Rattlers are just flat. Kingsville's hustling them on their own floor as that ball goes out of bounds. It's last touched by the Javelinas. And the Rattlers trying to get some flow back. Coach Martins, he's pulled everybody that he can. That's is one of his regular players. But give credit, Kingsville 7 of 18 to start this game. They've hit a couple of threes. They've got good energy. Rattlers, again, just do not. Riley Perkins, Bella Hughes, and now that time another turnover. That's turnover number 4, but it's just one of those deals that Coach Martins, you can't do much. I mean, there's a time when you're not playing well. If that's the case, you need to find it. And I think we saw this 3 weeks ago when St. Mary's was at home. They went over from the three-point arc, but it wasn't. They got back into that game by hustling. And right now, Coach Martin's talking to his assistant coach Boyd of right now things are just flat. You give credit on the other side, but your St. Mary's, that effort has got to pick up quite a little bit as traveling is called on Anastasia Mickens. And St. Mary's will take over with it. Fans stop by one of the 5 conveniently located Jason's Deli restaurants for a fresh, affordable meal anytime. Don't forget about free ice cream. Jason's Deli is happy to fulfill any and all catering needs with as little as same-day notice. Jason's Deli, the official sandwich of St. Mary's Athletics. Soteria Banks gives the ball back out. Jesse Bosa is back out there. Soteria Banks firing a 3, and she is able to get the first one to go for St. Mary's. And the Rattlers get their second bucket of the game. Seven minutes to play. We're in the first half. Rattlers are down 19-7, but starting to find a little bit of love to their offense as they come back and try to put it all together here on their home floor. Down 19-7. They fell behind big early on. 16-2 at one point in this game, but the Rattlers starting to find a little bit of offense and see what they could put together with it. Rattlers in this game just 3 of 15. They just got their first 3 of the game, but give a lot of credit. Javelinas has done a better job of coming together and trying to put it back together. And we get a 5-second call on Kingsville. And, you know, that's part of the struggle, I think, that we have seen over time from head coach Michael Madrid about, hey, understanding where everybody's at and what they're doing. Again, trying to get everybody on that same page. It has been a real struggle. Alexia Torres throws it inside. Back out to Wilson. Banks for 3. Straight on. No good. Rebound, Jesse Barbosa. There's those offensive boards that can help you out. As a 3-pointer's up and good from Bella Hughes. She hits it and one. Big hit right there. It's 19-10, and St. Mary's is their way back in. Couple of buckets. Floor all white opportunity. Hughes makes the bonus free throw. And it's an 8-point game, closest it's felt like in a while. Kingsville jumped out 14-2, but St. Mary's has a 6-0 run going over the last 65 seconds. Kingsville 3-9 on the year. You get a reach-in foul committed by St. Mary's, and there you see Coach Martin saying, all right, somebody's got to take it in under their own ability to say, we're going to try to do something about this. Looks like that is the case. It's tough. Sometimes it's all part of it. You have a bad start. It's part of the game. But give a lot of credit. Kingsville has done a good job taking advantage of their opportunity. It's been a double-digit lead. They have not scored, though, in the last couple of minutes. Upton works it over to the right side. Johnson on the right wing gives the ball back up top. Solis with it. Off to the edge left. Moonshine. Back around. Bridget Upton drives down the lane. Throws it off the glass and in. Back to a 10-point game. Good job by Upton. She's got 10 points here in this first half. A hot hand for her, 4 of 6 shooting in this basketball game. Soteria Banks with it, fakes right, comes back to her left, drops the ball back off to Bella Hughes. Out to Alexia Torres. To Banks, three-pointers up, no good. And a rebound inside, Jalen Johnson. Rebounds +6 right now to the visitors from Kingsville. Trying to get a win on this road trip for the Javelinas. Longtime members of the Lone Star Conference, but they've been playing St. Mary's a lot. This is not a real new team as we get an offensive foul called. Charging there on Kingsville. The Rattlers will turn the ball back over. The Javelinas will turn the ball back over. St. Mary's, again, as we mentioned, 4 of 18 to start this game shooting. Only beat a 10-point game. Coach Martins kind of looks down and says, hey, we can come out of it, but work to be done right now. Rattlers have won 4 in a row. Players continue to seem to understand their roles pretty well. It's just, how do you respond when you're having a poor shooting game? Banks, layup attempt is up and in. That helps. Get a little closer. Makes a big difference. 8-point game. Upton will bring it up court. She's had a hot start to this one. Couple of threes. Sophomore of George West, Texas. Played 15 games a year ago. Ball held by Mickens. Drive down by Upton, gives the ball off, and the shot is up and in by Anastasia Mickens. Good looking job right there. 4:25 to play. Bella Hughes at the other end for 3 points. That's big right there, brings it back a little closer. Rattlers are down 7. Can they mix points and stops? That's what you always start trying to deal with, is you have some nice moments, but kind of starts to get away just a little bit. Good lob underneath to the right block, and Hannah Wilson called for the foul. 4 minutes to play here in this second quarter. 23-16 media timeout. Free throws for Kingsville when we come back. This is Rattler Basketball. Back with more next on the Lone Star Conference Network. Turn it up a lot. How can we test this audio to see if it's working better? Because I think it should be up now into a better spot. It sounds really tinny, you guys said, right? Okay, so to play here in this first half. The Rattlers trailing 23-16 against Texas A&M Kingsville. Rattlers having to work out of a deep hole that was out to a 16-2 spot. They have started to hit a couple of shots. They 0-7 from downtown to start this game, but they have put together 3 of them in their last 4 tries. Getting a little bit closer, but right now free throws by Mickens as she attempts her second. It is up and it is good. 25-16 is our score. 4 minutes to go here in this first half. It has really been an up and down kind of day. They're not really working out very well so far for St. Mary's, trying to pick up their 5th victory. Trying to get victory number 250 for Coach Martins here this afternoon. Torres working with it. Now Banks. Wilson had it on the right block, didn't like her look, gives it out. Hughes fires an air ball. Ball is out of bounds. Wanji can't hang on to it. And it'll go back to Texas A&M Kingsville, a team that, again, played Thursday in Austin. Had some success in that game, but it started to get away from them. They tried to run up and down the court with them, and that's not their game. They're not going to outscore you in the 70s. The game gets above 60, they have a hard time trying to stay with most people. They fought in that game for 3 quarters before it got away at the start of the 4th, and ultimately became a 75-55 loss. And, you know, it's tough, right? You look at it for Coach Madrid, he's trying to turn around this program that won a lot of games. Wade Scott was here for 4 years. Kind of mixed results for him. But, you know, Kingsville has had success. You got to go back a little bit further, but trying to rebuild a program essentially and restart it. It's a challenge as this league just continues to get better as Hannah Wilson shoots and scores. That's her 2nd make of the game. She's 2 of 3 shooting now, 4 points. Bella Hughes has hit a couple of 3s off the bench to bring St. Mary's closer. 7-point game. With as poor as things have started, kind of leveled off some, and a chance again for the Rattlers. Again, you try to keep this right here at 7. If you can take it to 5 or closer, that's great, but this position going into the break is not as worse as it could be. As Upton drops the ball off. Great pass. Mickens can't finish, but a foul is called on St. Mary's. And again, it looks like a team is much fresher right now than the other. And that is Texas A&M Kingsville. Today's game is presented by Star Shuttle and Charter, the exclusive transportation provider of St. Mary's Athletics. Star Shuttle and Charter, they go the distance for you. Back into the game comes Angelica Wall, redshirt senior out of Pueblo, Colorado, on her 2nd stop. And that's what, again, Coach Madrid has had to do a lot of. Getting other people here is that free throw is up and good from Anastasia Mickens. Kind of worked with Coach and trying to get a couple of things together here and see if he can find a way to win as Wanji has the missed shot. Shot by her and St. Mary's to get back to it. Still +6 rebounding to Texas A&M Kingsville. Alexia Torres has not scored yet but does have a couple of assists. She works with it down low on the block. Back out, Sydney Hardiman, 3-pointers up and it's in. Sydney Hardiman with her 27th 3 of the season. 2 minutes to go in this first half. It's a 5-point game. Rattlers now 4 of 13. They have hit 4 of their last 5 3-pointers. After starting this game 0 of 7. Lucas drives down the lane. Contact from Wanji and Torres. They'll give that foul, looks like underneath to Audrey. Her first personal foul, team's 4th. 1:42 to play here in this first half. Javelinas out 16-2 to start this game, but the Rattlers have put up 19 in the 2nd quarter. Lucas, high lob around. Angelica Wall is open. 3-pointer is good, but got a foul first away from the ball. And it's called on Kingsville's Treasure Mouton. Transfer out of Tyler Junior College. And, you know, it's funny talking with Coach Madrid again, who spent last year in El Paso as an assistant head coach, I believe, actually, with UTEP under Coach Baker. He's been all up and down I-10, he said. You know, coached at Navarro for a while, formerly at Lubbock Christian. I mean, the guy's been everywhere. As Bella Hughes is again hit in the corner. 3-point try is no good, but Bella does a good job. Again, you land there on the contact, and even though she doesn't hit the shot, she heads to the line for 3 free throws. And again, with 81 seconds left, as bad as this thing is starting, Rattlers have a chance again. 3 free throws, you get it down to a 1-possession game. Bella made her 4-point play earlier. Did a good job at the line this season as the first toss is up, and it is good. Hughes is 12 for 21 at the line this season. Mixed results, a lot of goods for her though, but really I think see Bella, she's really had a lot more confidence in the last couple of games, especially here at home. Continues to have that 3-point success. She's now hit 12 threes in her last 3+ games. Second one is good. She goes 2 for 3 at the line, and it is a 3-point game. 80 seconds to play here in half number 1. Rattlers have made up for a porous start. Upton pressured by Torres. Good defense right there. It's the defense that St. Mary's has shown in their 4-game win streak. They've kept the opposition under 30% in that stretch. As Wall contested 3 is up and in. Angelica Wall was just her 3rd 3 of the season. Got the chance to see her play a lot when she was at Adams State in Colorado. She's got a pretty good game. Now a redshirt senior, experienced player, on her 3rd stop now. Makes it back at a 6-point game. Rattlers working around. Bella Hughes, who's been hot, misses that one short. Rebounded underneath by Jalen Johnson. That's already her 6th rebound. Kingsville controlling the boards right now. Coach Madrid trying to get one more stop. Points at the forefront first. Wall back around. Bridget Upton drives, lobs it across, out onto the right wing. 7 to shoot. Back to Upton. Drives, floating one-hander. Hits the backboard, nothing else, and then she runs into Bella Hughes after some frustration on that missed shot. And see Coach Madrid said, hey, come on, we got to be smart right there. That's what that is. It's team foul number 5, and it puts St. Mary's at the line at the other end. Chance to still get it back to at least a 4-point game as Hughes has 9 here in this first half. Hughes now 8 for her last 12 at the free throw line. Gets the first as she crosses into double figures. You know, it's funny, you look at Bella getting 2 for 7, but she's hustled. She's played smart basketball, and it's allowed things to come back a little bit. Free throw number 2 is up and good, so Bella gets both. 8 seconds to go. 3-point try in the left corner. It's up. Oh, what a big shot right there by Purnell. Deja Purnell, who had not played in the first half, but a couple of minutes it felt, hits a big shot right there. And Texas A&M Kingsville heads into the break 32-25. We take a break, come back and take a look around the scoreboard, get you ready for the second half next. 29-25, 32-25. Kingsville leading St. Mary's at halftime on the Lone Star Conference Network. Test, test, test. You guys, if you guys hear me, go ahead and bring it back. I'm going to bring Rob on, and we're going to make sure all this will work, hopefully. So. Hey, we welcome you back to Bill Greehey Arena. Andrew Stossmeister back, and none other than are we graced by the presence of Mr. Coleman. Rob Coleman, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Good, Andrew. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Good, good.
What a great season it's been. I know we're watching some basketball here today, but we turned the calendar to 2020. A lot of success for the Rattler athletics here in the last semester, and obviously carrying over here into the spring.
Yeah, we're so excited. Joining the Lone Star. Men's soccer just had a great fall. Kicked off our season. As you know, we do not have American football here at St. Mary's, so to have the English version of it and to go out and win a regular season championship, go to the Sweet 16. We didn't know when our first Lone Star championship would come, but to imagine it came early in the fall was, again, just a great way to start our season off for sure.
Yeah, super excited to see the soccer program have so much success. And like you said, bringing in a league championship in a brand new league that, you and I have discussed it before, that this is a challenging league in every single sport. That was a huge accomplishment.
This league is, I don't know where it would rank in Division II, but I'm sure it's obviously in the top 5 somewhere in competitiveness. I mean, every night you have to bring an A game in every sport or you're going to lose. It's just that simple, home or away. And we know that. I mean, and so even just tonight, you got to put records aside. And our ladies got off to a cold start. Kingsville's playing, extremely hard. Got off to even that last shot. We gave up a 3-pointer there. So, hopefully we can make some adjustments in the locker room and come out and try to get a W here. But again, we're super happy to be in the conference. It's taken us a little bit to get adjusted to it with the travel and week in and week out. But our kids, not only have just done a great job here, athletically speaking, but academically as well.
We're talking with Athletic Director Rob Coleman, Andrew Stossmeister here on the other end. It's halftime of this women's game, 32-25. But Rob, you talk about everything that happened in the fall. I mean, we wouldn't be reminiscent if we didn't talk about the student athletes and the student part of it. Students have done a great job so far in class.
Yeah, a 3.4 GPA for our program overall. Every single women's program had a 3.2 GPA or higher. I think 10 of our 11 programs had a 3.0. So, we're over the moon as far as how we're doing, academically, which is what we're here for. We know that. And our, a big thanks to our professors, too. We travel so much, and, they're really in here on our campus. They're really, really supportive of our kids. And so, again, 3.4 each. The last 3 semesters, we've broken the record for our GPA within the program. So, again, really, really fortunate that our kids are, our coaches are recruiting, not only just great athletes, but great academic kids.
Yeah, it's good to see that because, it makes it, especially basketball season, because everybody else is kind of in between sports. We saw it on Thursday, and we've seen it here today. Other teams come out and support one another, which is good to have that good camaraderie.
Well, we had a great crowd the other night on Thursday. I thought it was our best crowd yet. Baseball was out here, softball. They're getting their seasons going, but after practice, they've come over and, and now that we're back in school, I think we'll see those crowds, especially during the week for sure. And then today, we've got 3 or 4 youth groups here, cheering on our team. So, and again, second social tonight. So if anyone's not here yet, wants to come to the game for Rattler Nation, come on in.
Come on down. Those are always good. You can catch up with Rob. He's here, and a lot to talk about. Before I let you go, so much obviously has happened in this last year, getting ready and moving into the Lone Star Conference. What's next now for St. Mary's is what I've had a lot of people asking.
Well, again, we got the spring sports coming up. Men's golf's ranked 8th in the country nationally right now, so, really excited about them. But baseball, softball should have great seasons. I know the softball team's on the road for about a month. They're traveling up to Dixie State, Arizona. So, by the time they get back, they'll probably have, close to 15 games in by then. But, we're just excited about, I think all of our teams, competitively speaking, should be in the mix for playoffs. Hopefully we can get in a decent position regionally that have a shot for the NCAAs. And you go through it, Andrew. I mean, tennis is lined up.
Yeah.
Bill's done a great job coming in from Florida Institute of Technology. Our golf program's lined up, baseball, softball, and hopefully basketball here is going to finish and get into the playoff, and hopefully we'll see them up in Dallas fighting for a championship.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Are you used to the whole baseball, softball getting started here end of January this year?
Yeah, it seems like it gets earlier all the time, but coming from where I came, where we played 40 games, and here in D2 they play 50. The more baseball, the better for me personally. So I'm looking forward to it.
There you go, Rob Coleman, the athletic director. Appreciate it. A couple of minutes, sir, as always.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Always great to catch up with Rob and everything that's going on. Check out Coleman's Corner. That's always available. Social media sites. Halftime of our women's game, 32-25. We'll be back right after this timeout. We continue. It is halftime from Bill Greehey Arena. Andrew Stossmeister back. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on this Saturday for Lone Star Conference basketball. The ladies of Texas A&M Kingsville leading St. Mary's 32-25. Appreciate Mr. Coleman for coming over and taking a couple of minutes with us. Always good to catch up with him. And, of course, check out Coleman's Corner. We have some of those for you. We're going to start hopefully getting more of those in the spring. Check it out on social media. Of course, St. Mary's Athletics has you set for everything as well. RattlerAthletics.com. Check those out. They're always up there and going on. All right, let's talk about the basketball game. You look at, again, if you're St. Mary's, you're looking at it going, we could not have started any worse in the first 12 minutes of this game. The better news is they found a way to get things. They hit some threes. Bella Hughes, I think, caught fire a little bit, hit a couple of threes, and wisely just kind of got that basketball savvy that you always start trying to look for. You look for somebody that's willing to step up and make a play. Bella has 11 points. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but again, it's those hustle minutes that just show up that gives Coach Martin a little bit of hope that, hey, some things can find a way to turn themselves around. On the other side, give a lot of credit to Kingsville, man. I thought they had a lot of energy. They came out and were focused from the beginning, something St. Mary's was not. And because of that, the Kingsville Javelinas did a great job. I think they cleaned up the glass very well. They deserve to be up at halftime. I think they're probably going in the locker room saying, we were up by 15 points in this game, or 14 points. This game should be bigger with its margin than it actually is. So a lot to kind of break down from that first half. The Rattlers, as a team, finish 8 of 12. Bad news is they only scored 2 in that first, but 7 of 12 shooting in quarter number 2 makes a huge difference after starting the game 1 of 12. For the Javelinas, they were 11 of 24 in that first half. That's 46%. They hit 4 3. She is 2 of 4 from the three-point arc in the first 20 minutes of action, but not to be outdone. Her teammates Jalen Johnson and Anastasia Mickens have both played very well. Each of them have 7. Each of them also have 5 rebounds, plus 8 definitively to the Javelinas. For St. Mary's, a team that's missed here in this game, 16 shots. They've only got 11 total rebounds, and is fouled. Good job immediately for Coach Martins and company to go right back underneath the box and get it into the post. I mean, you look at it, when you just match it up size on size, it's not close. And the Rattlers need to find a way to get some points in the paint, as that first free throw is up and in for Hannah Wilson. Hannah now with 5 points in the game, 2 of 3. And you talk about just getting your touches. When the ball's not falling outside, you got to start in. And I thought we talked a lot about that on Thursday. That's just as important today. It's more so when the three's not falling. Work inside out. Everybody wants to shoot the three. I know it's exciting. It's fun to watch somebody hit 5 in a game, but it's one of those deals as we get an offensive call underneath. Good job by Alexia Torres to stay out of the half circle underneath the hoop and take the charge. Coach Michael Madrid for the Javelinas does not agree with the call, but a lot of contact. I mean, those honest to goodness, 50-50s as you see him, but Alexia was definitely set. It's how far underneath was she is. Hannah Wilson shoots and scores. Bella Hughes with her first assist of the game. And the Rattlers come out with back-to-back to start this game. A couple at the free throw line. You get a deal like that.
And there is a turnover from Texas A&M Kingsville. Rattlers come out again looking much more focused, and Michael Madrid calls an early timeout. We stay here 52 seconds into this third quarter. Fans can't get enough of your Rattlers. Download the Fang Centers Fan Rewards app today. Check in, earn points, and redeem prizes. It's that easy. Available on Google Play and the App Store. Sign up now and show your Rattler pride. Big thanks again to our entire crew for working with us here this afternoon. I know we've had some challenges, but thanks so much for being a part of Rattler Athletics on this Lone Star Conference Saturday. Everybody playing this weekend. It has been a busy weekend. St. Ed's on the women's side has already defeated International 67-52. Most of the other games are at halftime or just getting underway here in actually in the next 10 minutes or so. But Cameron is hosting Midwestern State from Lawton, Oklahoma. They're down, by 2 at halftime. Tarleton and Western New Mexico. How about that? That's a tie game at halftime. Fifth-ranked Commerce leads Oklahoma Christian 48-27. UTPB on the road leading Texas women's 31-22. And Tyler hosting Fort Smith this afternoon. That game is at halftime. The Lions lead three right before the break is out there. Screen set for Lucas. Rattlers run through him pretty well. 10-point game, three-pointer straight on is no good. Hannah Wilson skies and brings in her third rebound of the game in 17 minutes. Still a 10-point game. Torres holding on with it. Rattlers looking for a bucket. They haven't had one since they got a couple of early ones. Here's Bella Hughes attacking right corner, throws it up, shot is no good. Foul is called, and it's an offensive foul on Bella Hughes as Angelica Wall takes that offensive foul. And Coach Martin saying, I think she was inside that half arc underneath. And Coach Martin's asking, can you review that? Can you look at it? Not going to see it, but tell you what, Coach Jason Martins is not happy with that call. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Rossow, who is our head referee tonight, said, nah, that's enough, Jason. Knock it off. 10-point game with 6:25 to play. Banks and company back.
Looks like defensively, almost like a matchup zone as Bella Hughes fires, missed everything, and a rebound chased down. Bridget Upton has her second rebound. Upton has played really well here today. Impressive for her after struggling on Thursday. Only had 4 points in the loss by 20 in Austin. Again, a basketball team that's won just twice in their last 10 games as a foul is called on Briley Perkins with 3:40 to play. We'll take a timeout.
3:40 to play here in this third quarter. Rattlers hanging on. They have equalized the same amount as Texas A&M Kingsville. The Rattlers have gotten it to 3 a couple of times, but again, you start looking, if you're Jason Martins, you're in one huddle saying we got to continue to work on the grindiness and see how it's going, see if it's getting better. And it seems like there have been some moments of that, but it's getting other people to believe that they can score. And right now it looks like it's Bella Hughes and then trying to figure out who else is going to be with her. On the other side, Texas A&M Kingsville, you're saying we're 16 of 31 from the field. We're shooting the ball with confidence. We're winning on the glass. Let's find a way to just continue to keep that effort going. At this point, it's 2 more free throws at the line, and Kingsville is doing a good job. They've been very patient in their offense. You can tell some of their changes were, hey, keep moving it around, but if you have that lane, if St. Mary's overplays you, work the ball inside, and at worst, get to the line for a couple of tries. They've had 3 regular scores in this game. Upton's the leading scorer, but see Mickens, who's got 9, Johnson's got 8, and then Solis and Purnell each have 5. As the first free throw is up and good. Javelinas as a team coming in just 60% from the foul line. They are at the bottom of the conference from there, but today, pretty good. 6 of 8, that'll get the job done, at least at this point, but might be more as this game wears. 45-36 our score. Torres, Hardiman, Banks, Barbosa, and now Maya Culliver out there in the white jerseys for St. Mary's. Banks gives the ball back out to Alexia Torres, who drives down the lane, gives it up, and a poor pass, but a block inside. And that time Torres got bailed underneath. That's a good job defensively. That was a turnover. Rattlers the beneficiary on that, but that's one of those plays. Again, you look at it, Torres, it's great to have all these assists. She's done such a good job, but you have to drive and create, but you have to give that ability that you can still score. And Lex has talked about that before. She knows she's not going to score 10 to 12 points a game, but still kind of giving that ability like you're going to drive. Javelinas have been well coached to know that she's not going to shoot. Torres with it. Has time, looking around, hasn't seen much down low, and now Lex drives this time. She lays it up off the glass and in. Beautiful take by the senior out of right here in San Antonio, in Incarnate Word High School. Lex with a great job to put it back at 7. 2:55 to play, quarter number 3. Rattlers are 7-7, looking for their 5th straight victory. Kingsville looking for just their 3rd Lone Star victory. They are 2-8 in conference play. Upton the leading scorer with it. 6 to shoot. Tries to throw it off the feet of Barbosa. It goes out of bounds. It will stay at 4 seconds on the play clock. Coach Madrid giving out instructions as to what he'd like to see. It'll be Upton who will inbound it. They'll run 3 players around his screen and look inside. It's not there. It's lobbed in wide open to Solis, who emerges at the end of the play and scores. Great patience over there by Upton. Her 4th assist of the game, by the way. She continues to fill up the stat sheet. She's doing a good job. And again, you just look at it for Kingsville. Very patient, very relaxed. Soteria Banks, again, well covered, forces a shot up in traffic. It was blocked. Mickens got a piece of it. Kingsville takes over. 2:12 to play in this third quarter. 9-point game. Rattlers have yet to lead. They trail by 14 early on in this game. They've been trying to play from behind ever since. Upton around the arc right. Solis trying to force it back in. St. Mary's still staying in that man-to-man defense. Everybody's switching. That's kind of how the game is played these days. As that ball goes out of bounds, and I think Hardiman did not touch it. And so that will give the ball back to the Rattlers. Fans, don't forget, we've got the men's game that will follow this one. St. Mary's, for the first time, won back-to-back home games on Thursday night. Good feeling, huge sigh of relief for Coach Martins and then also Coach Z. We've talked to both of them before the games today. We'll talk to Z in our in-between games, get some thoughts from him, but it's one of those deals that has worked pretty well as Bella Hughes has called for a travel. And first time Bella has hesitated, and it becomes turnover number 9 on St. Mary's. But again, it's tough when you're a fan of a program, and if they're doing all their winning on the road, it's very opposite of what's normal. But regardless, as coaches right now, it's, hey, get some wins, and honestly, it's get to February, because January, everybody talks about it. January is the hardest month of basketball. Great move underneath. Solis, though, well guarded by Hardiman. Some contact on that possession. Rattlers have numbers. Culliver drives inside. One more pass, and she threw it away. If you're Maya, you got to just get that ball up and in. And tell you what, Coach Martins is just kind of looking at one another. He knows the guy on the other side has played well against him in the past. They have not had very many meetings since he has been here at Kingsville. Former assistant in Lubbock, last stopped at El Paso at UTEP. Purnell for three. Holy smokes, that's the 8th triple of the game for Texas A&M Kingsville. That is not their forte. They got 50 points. They averaged that coming in. We've still got a quarter to go as Hughes misses. Jesse Barbosa's got the rebound, goes reverse lay-in. There's contact, nothing underneath. And Coach Martins can't believe it. He's going to the end of the bench. Hannah Wilson's coming back in. 12-point game. Jessie has had 3 really good games. She has not been able to reach that standard yet here today. 16 to go in the third quarter. Shot clock is off. Purnell with it, holding it in front of her own bench. Looks for the drive, steps back to her right. Rattlers with 6 seconds. Played pretty good defense. Can they finish at least the quarter? Wall with a hand in her face, fires a 3 off the backboard, no good. And that is the end of 30 minutes here from San Antonio. We head to the fourth quarter. Kingsville 50, St. Mary's 38. Fourth quarter coming up next on the Lone Star Conference Network. Start of the fourth quarter in San Antonio. The Kingsville Javelinas have come out on fire from behind the arc. They have hit 23s coming into this game in their last 3. You know how many they have here tonight? 8 of them. Tied their season high. They have shot the ball very well from behind the arc. 10 minutes to go. 50-38. Kingsville will have it first. Again, there in the blue jersey, St. Mary's in the white. Both teams share the same school colors, blue and yellow. I asked people about that. I said, what's the deal with that? Everybody seems to have that, especially in this league. I mean, there's 4 teams that have that. I said, it's kind of what it is. As Hannah Wilson reaches over the back, foul is called. Wilson picks up her 3rd personal. First player to 3 for the Rattlers. On the other side, nobody has more than 2, so foul's not an issue right now. But execution, 6 of 12 for Kingsville in the second half. That shot is no good. Bella Hughes fouls. And a lot of credit to Anastasia Mickens getting to the cup. Will head to the line for 2 shots as she is fouled on that right arm. Mickens in double figures with 11, 5 of 6 at the stripe today. Done a good job rebounding as well. She's got 5 of them. First free throw, no good. If you're just catching up, Rattlers fell behind in this game, 16-2. They have not recovered to a lead yet. They have cut it to 3 on 2 occasions. Once at the end of the second quarter, once early on in the third. No closer than that. 1 for 2 at the line is Mickens. St. Mary's, can they find some offense? They have not won a game going into the fourth quarter trailing yet this season. They have lost the previous 5 times it has happened. Good day to change some history, as Coach Martins would tell you. This team has been out-hustled on their home floor. And again, after starting the game, I mean, the game started for St. Mary's 1 of 14. They turned it around and went 7 of 12 in the second quarter. and hit a couple of threes. They've hit some as this game has gone along, but it's finding a way when you don't shoot the ball well. That's something that every team tries to figure out. You hope it doesn't happen very often, but it's how can you find that way? Torres, 5 to shoot, gets it inside to Wilson. Hannah catches, goes up strong, but kind of laid off a little bit. Great defense by Deja Purnell, who got in front. And again, to me, the game has been won on the boards. +5 right now to Texas A&M Kingsville. They have, granted, they have shot the ball lights out, but they have made sure to hold that lead because they continue to win on the glass. Up top, ball held over there by Brianna Solis. Give the ball back around to Mucha. 6 to shoot, deep 3. Purnell is up, short of the iron, and a foul on the rebound as Briley Perkins got beat to the spot. Great hustle by Brianna Solis. We talked about it for Texas A&M Kingsville. They are a quality rebounding team. They have out-rebounded their last 4 opponents. Hasn't really shown up in the box score or the win column, but I'll tell you, they have been dominant today, and if they win this game, that's going to be a big reason. Bridget Upton will inbound it. It's a high pass. Again, 5 players have routinely scored in this game. Kingsville's had good balance around. Angelica Wall has 3 right now. She gives it back out to Upton, the leading scorer with 13. It's still 13. Long rebound deflected out. Mickens has got it back. 7th offensive rebound of the game for the Javelinas. And now Upton will call the shots as they work it in front of their own bench. Back up top, Mickens. Working that left side with Mutan. 5 to shoot. Upton trying to square it around as she works on Torres. Ball deflected. It's out of bounds with 1 on the shot clock. And Coach Michael Madrid on the other side saying, hey, got to have a good shot. Got to have a catch and shoot affair. Who's it going to go to? Upton will inbound it. She's looking. That's 4.5 seconds. Wall catches, fires a deep 3. It's an air ball and out of bounds. It's a shot clock violation. And, we talk about it. Again, the Rattlers, I think everybody talks about points. They're exciting. They look fun. And, you get to talk about it with your friends. But the reason that St. Mary's has been so good has been their defense. 8 of the previous 10 teams have been held under 65 points. And they've held their last 4 opponents under 30% shooting from the arc. They get an offensive rebound. They're 6th. Briley Perkins back out to Sydney Hardiman. 7:45 to play. We're in the 4th quarter. Rattlers have not led. Torres out to Briley. Air ball 3. And Kingsville can slow it down. St. Mary's, again, they're looking for that deep shot. They're 6 of 22 from behind the arc. It's great when you make 10 threes, but if it takes you 30 shots to get there, sometimes it's not very good. As that drive is up and it rattles up and out. Wilson trying to tiptoe the baseline, does so, and pulls in rebound number 6. Good job by Wilson, but again, 2 for 1 as Torres. Awkward shot, doesn't go. Upton another rebound. Kingsville trying to push it down court as players spill it all over, and coach is kind of looking on as the pace intensifies here in this 4th quarter. 4 minutes and 5 seconds in. Wilson, power step. Has 2 defenders right there. She throws it up and out, no good. Wilson grabs the rebound and is fouled. Hannah trying to assert herself inside. And a foul is called on Texas A&M Kingsville as they'll substitute once again. They have done a great job rotating 4 players throughout this game and really playing 9, if you will. As Jessie Barbosa is trying to check in, see if they get to her. Try to bring in a little bit more size, but you look at a player like Jessie Barbosa, hasn't scored, had a tough game. Try to go to who's been hot lately. Barbosa will take the inbounds. Yet St. Mary's has trailed now double digits their last few minutes. Fell behind 16-2. Bella Hughes with it, has a screen, 6 to shoot. Bella is hit, 3-pointers up, no good. And Angelica Wall fouls. And tell you what, Bella, who's got just a natural fall forward as she lands, which most people do, right? I mean, sometimes you'll see players that kind of jump out of the way. The key is to naturally come down, and if you can lean forward just a little bit, if there's any kind of contact, you force the official to make the call. I mean, that's just good basketball savvy, plain and simple. Hughes' first free throw is good. She's the only player in double figures for St. Mary's. Second straight game, you kind of look around and try to see how do you get somebody else going. Soteria Banks has not had her most productive offensive games, and for the second leading scorer, you missed that as Hannah Wilson, good putback, brings it back to a 10-point game with 6.5 to play. Rattlers trying to press, but that time unable to slow down Madison Lucas. Johnson and Kingsville will slow it back down. Again, Kingsville, this is where they beat you. They don't score a lot. They've hustled to 50. They've only got 1 point, though, here in this fourth quarter. And it's been 4 minutes. Parnell down to 3, down to 2, three-pointers up. It is short rebound, Hannah Wilson. Good job by Hannah to pull in her 9th rebound. On the cusp of her 4th double-double of the year. Bella Hughes with it, being patient, waits for the screen. Gets it over there to Wilson. Hannah drives, leans in, uses the backboard. Shot is no good. Ball is still free in the paint. Finally, it's pulled in by Brianna Solis. Nice job by Solis inside to get to that basketball and pull it down for her 6th rebound of the game. Kingsville, you can tell, again, it's about playing for stops right now. They feel like they have the points they need. They're up 10. Rattlers have scored just 3 here in this fourth quarter. Throw to the right side, open 2 for Johnson. She missed it, ball deflected. It's loose on the deck, and we have our first tie-up, I believe, of the second half. And the possession is in favor of St. Mary's. So the Rattlers will get it back as Upton, Mouton, and also Palmer will re-enter for Texas A&M Kingsville. Rattlers here in this fourth quarter. Can they find a way? It has been a tough go at times here in this game. Brought it back down. They've got it close a couple times, but unlike their previous 3 games where they've had double-digit leads, they've had to try to make them a double-digit deficit. 5 of 18 shooting in the second half. We've got 5 minutes to go here in the fourth. Wilson is bumped off her spot. Foul on Solis. That's team foul number 3. Rattlers are 4 of 6 in the second half from the free throw line. And we have our media timeout of this fourth quarter. 10-point game. Kingsville trying to come in and pick up a huge road win. St. Mary's looking for their 8th victory. They've got some work to do. 4:57 to play. 10-point lead for the Javelinas on the Lone Star Conference Network. .457 to play here in this fourth quarter. Rattlers are down 10 to the Kingsville Javelinas, who are 3-9 on the season. Trying to pick up a nice road win for them to head back home with. St. Mary's has a 4-game win streak on the line right now. They have won 9 of their last 12 against Kingsville. Jason Martin's all-time 9-5 against them. Maya Culver will inbound it as she works it underneath. The ball deflects to her. Maya catches a break. Hannah Wilson, good show me inside the lane. The shot is good. Hannah Wilson starting to heat up. She's got 13 and 9. Can the Rattlers pressure and get enough offense? Their defense has been okay as there's pressure on the basketball. Maya Culver's got the steal. Maya working it inside, circles it back around. Now waiting, gives the ball to Jessie Barbosa, who is bumped. And now Jessie will reverse the ball away as that ball deflected out of bounds. Good effort out there by Bridget Upton, but Jason Martin's in that last huddle. He said, come on, we have to make our push. Time is running. Rattlers trying to make up a 14-point deficit in this game. They have trailed by 13 in this second half. Torres back out. Briley's shot is short. Good defense by Johnson. And able to close out on that edge. Rattlers 6 of 23 from behind the arc in this basketball game. Tough go shooting it, especially from the arc. Again, we talked a lot about it. St. Mary's, the highest percentage team in the league coming in as Barbosa knocks that ball out of bounds and under the bleachers. She'll go ahead and chase that thing down. But can St. Mary's, again, find a way that without shooting the ball very well most of this game? Johnson to inbound it. Takes a long time. She throws it into Maya Culliver, but it's pulled away by Treasure Mouton. Good play out there by Mouton as Torres fouls from behind. That's team foul number 4. So next one to the line. Big game for Anna Wilson, who's got 13 and 9. Bella Hughes, 15 points on 3 of 10 from behind the arc. But again, the Rattlers tried to mix some different things up. They just haven't been able to get it going in their ways, trying to live through their defense. Coach Martins and I have had that conversation several times this season. Again, just having that way is Upton at close to the penalty. Just got it in. Solis will back it away. 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Rattlers down 8. They have not led in the game. 4-point game, though, at halftime. Johnson holds, 4 to shoot, 3, 2, Mouton with it at 1, gets it up to the free throw line. The shot is no good, and Hannah Wilson has the rebound for her 4th double-double of the year. Alexia Torres with it will push. Can the Rattlers get a good shot? Culliver's open, three-pointer rattles in. Big hit right there by Maya with her 33rd career triple, and it's a 5-point game. I'll tell you what, this has a lot of makings for St. Mary's, like feeling like that Fort Smith game where St. Mary's was down 10 points in the fourth quarter, got almost all the way back, but lost the game. Hoping for a different outcome. I know they'd like to see that, as with those of you watching if you are Rattler fans. Hey fans, shop East Bay for the latest brand name shoes, apparel, and more. They've got a loyalty club, 90-day returns, and a fit promise guarantee. Gear up your game today at eastbay.com. Well, the Rattlers have not seen many minutes for Soteria Banks in this fourth quarter. So has had a tough game, and I thought chemistry was off a little bit Thursday. I said, it's just one of those things, but maybe there's something a little bit more. That's the second leading scorer in the conference, not out there. That's 5 seconds. Johnson trying to get it in, just does so. Ball is still in the backcourt. It's deflected around and finally across on a hot potato-like action from Treasure Mouton, and Kingsville will at least keep the possession. St. Mary's with a quality fourth quarter. They've outscored their opposition 8-1. They scored 8 in a row in 3 minutes as Bella Hughes reaches in and takes the ball away. Jump ball. 8 seconds on the play clock. Good awareness for the Argyle, Texas native. Dallas Metroplex. Coach Martins has talked about it all along. He likes his freshmen. They're talented, and they're getting their legs under them. 8 to shoot. Can Kingsville get a quality shot? I have not gotten one here in this fourth quarter. Tough drive to the hoop. The shot is no good. That's a shot clock violation. Barbosa, though, with a good job on the box out. And St. Mary's gets it back. No points for Kingsville in 7 minutes, nearly now. 6:48 to be exact. The Rattlers are down 5, 3 minutes to go. They've played for the stops. Alexia Torres with it. Torres looking for Wilson. She had it, didn't see it. Maya Culliver with it. Again, if you're St. Mary's, you've worked so hard on defense. Keep having that great offense as Culliver drives and is fouled and will head to the line for 2 shots. And on one side, it's interesting. You watch Coach Martins, it's like, is this thing happening? I mean, he always believes, but you're watching the other side of the bench with Coach Madrid, who's just kind of watching this thing sort of fall off the table for his side. Culliver at the line is money, 12 of 16 on the season. She has made 10 of her last 12. For a 3-point game, you better believe it from Maya. 2:46 to play. It's great to climb the mountain. It's a good workout. Everybody loves it. How many people can get over it? That's the challenge. A lot of pushing right there from Treasure Mouton. Officials have done a great job. I think these have been the best 3 officials on the women's side that St. Mary's has seen at a home game this year. They have been very consistent. Solis with it, 9 to shoot. Mootstown will come pick it up. Culliver staying on her feet, slides to her right. Moutron trying to push. Shot is up, it is no good. And a rebounding foul, and it's on Kingsville St. Mary's basketball. Good job by Wilson. She beat Brianna Solis to the spot. Jeff Rossow calls the 15th foul, and St. Mary's is at the other end shooting 2 automatically. What a way that this game has shifted. No points over the last 7:23 for Texas A&M Kingsville. Anna Wilson, 4 of 5 at the stripe. 2-point game. Rattlers with 11 in a row. Missed the second. Rebound and a foul on St. Mary's. They're going to get Bella Hughes for that. Hughes will pick up her 4th personal foul. She is the team's leading scorer at 15, but more importantly, that's the 15th foul on St. Mary's. So St. Mary's just shot 2. Now it'll be 2 at the other end as Solis will head to the line. First trip of the game for her. She was a perfect 5 for 5 on Thursday. 2 automatically. First free throw is up and good. Solis has 8. Kingsville is a team 8 of 11. For a 4-point game. It is good. And so St. Mary's trying to find their way back. They have not led in the game. Fans looking on. Got a couple of good groups out here today. They've seen a good one. Hughes wanting the ball, calls for it in the corner. 3-pointers, no good. Rebound, Anastasia Mickens. Rebounds still in favor of Kingsville. It's now just 3, but that was a big one. 2 minutes to go. Rattlers are 7 of 22 shooting in this second half. That's 36%. Upton, drive, kicks the ball back out. She hits the deck. 3-pointers up, no good. Jessie Barbosa brings in her 4th rebound. Rattlers get a stop. Both teams playing pretty good defense in this game. Maya Culver with it, working around. Again, looking at that zone. 2-3 as Hughes drives, leans in. There's contact. Shot is no good, and a foul is called. Great drive by Bella. Tell you what, that takes a little bit of guts for her with 4 fouls, and Kingsville has taken a couple of charges today, but for Hughes, just 3 of 12 at the line. Try to make a play. I mean, that's what you want when you're not shooting the ball well. It's get it inside, even for a player that's hit some threes. I mean, that's a huge growth moment for freshman Bella Hughes. 2 shots at the line. 3rd personal, by the way, on Solis. Free throw is good. It's big make right there for Bella. A chance to make it a 2-point game with 98 seconds to play. Always love it when you have a really exciting game 1, and you know game 2 is going to be really good. Hughes. Ooh, air ball on that one. That one might have thought about it a little too much. She's 7 of 10 from the foul line. 3-point game, 98 seconds to go. Both teams are in the bonus at the foul line. Bella is the only player with 4 fouls for her team. Mickens has 4 on the other side. Kingsville able to get the ball up court, and Coach Matter saying, hey, he's pointing out where to make the ball go. Kingsville has really struggled offensively here in this 4th quarter. They have not got a bucket yet. They've got a couple of free throws. 7 to shoot, taking the entire clock. Treasure Mouton working on Maya Culver. 2 seconds, 1 second, inside, the shot is up. It is good, count and a foul. Great patience by Kingsville. Anastasia Mickens, that's a great move. Fooled Barbosa just enough. And again, that's Treasure Mouton who moves that thing down low and just makes a no-look pass. She got Barbosa to bite. For a 6-point game, the free throw is good. Rattlers, they have not hit a field goal in the last 2:37. They could badly use one. Hughes and Torres with it. Maya Culver on an overload right. Now it's Torres back out to Maya. Not open for that 3. Kingsville has guarded the line very well with their zone. Torres catches. She's deep on the left wing. 3-pointers, good. Oh, what a deep shot there by Alexia. On her first triple of the game, her 32nd of her career. And when you need something from your senior leader, how about Lex lighting that one up? That's the 8th 3 of the game for St. Mary's. That's big. 9.6 difference between shot clock and game clock. You get wide open like that, you have to take that shot. And while Lex has shown that ability to hit the three this season and really throughout her career, she hasn't been the person really to normally do that. I mean, that's where it's Soteria. I mean, in the past, it was Kate when she was here last season. I mean, you just kind of go down. Arija would normally take that. She was down the list of players, and, for her to be able to step up in that moment and hit that shot, that's big for her confidence, but that's big for her team to say that, hey, I'm not afraid of the moment. 56-53. St. Mary's has not led. They have gotten it down to 2 a couple of times in this half. Kingsville will have it with the timeout. They advance the basketball. Rattlers are going to play off the basketball. It comes into Solis. Don't have to foul. St. Mary's looks like they're going to play out the possession. Again, mentioned it, 9.5 difference in shot clock and game clock as the ball is knocked free. Rattlers have it. Torres pushes down court, contact, blocking foul, says Jeff Rossow. I'll tell you what, Upton was trying to get set to take that charge, but she never did. Great awareness by the senior leader, Lex Torres, to the line for 2 shots in a 3-point game. But that's how you don't worry and say, hey, we got to get that 3. Go right at it. Kingsville's on their heels. Just a player that understands her 98th game, what it means. Lex's first free throws of the game. She's 14 of 17, and she's now 15 of 18 in her last 6 games. She was perfect on Thursday. Chance to make it a 1-point game. Rattlers have 3 timeouts. Kingsville has just 1 left. Second free throw is no good. Solis the rebound, and a timeout is called by the Javelinas. What a game. Talk about it again. Climbing the mountain the whole game for St. Mary's. And they're checking on this. Coach Martins was trying to get a timeout in, and they called that on Kingsville. That should be their last, so they're out. See the men in each corner warming up, waiting for their chance. Kingsville came up a little bit short in the men's game on Thursday at St. Ed's. Had a 1-point lead late. Looking forward to that one next. But this game has been a real interesting one of St. Mary's falling behind 16-2. They bring it back to 3 points at halftime. It's a 4-point game at halftime, but it balloons back up in the third quarter. Kingsville outscores St. Mary's 18-13. Rattlers go on a 12-0 run at the beginning of this fourth quarter to get right back in the game, trying to make up a 13-point deficit, but they've gotten it down to 1 possession a couple of times. And if you're Coach Martins, it's, hey, we need 1 more stop if we can. Try to get 1 more stop. Let's find a way to get a bucket. At worst, send this thing to overtime. Kingsville saying, let's get fouled, get it onto the line, make it a 4-point game, and let's get on back with our 3rd road victory of the season. Certainly a great opportunity. This team did win on the road at Texas Women's a few games back. But again, they have won just 2 of their last 10 games. Tell you what, you wonder sometimes if a team's confidence is wavering. Not tonight. Inbounder is Bridget Upton. She finds Solis. Rattlers have to foul. They don't get there. Ball works its way around to Mickens. That was the player you wanted to foul. Instead, it's Treasure Mouton who was fouled. And Mouton will go to the line for 2 as Torres commits the foul. That's not a bad player to foul. Treasure Mouton is just 3 of 8. In fact, I believe she's the lowest shooting player at the line for Kingsville. She's got to make at least 1. Offense for defense back in. Hardiman, Wanji, and Perkins go out. Wilson back out there along with Hughes and Barbosa. 2 shots at the line for Mouton. First free throw of the game. It is good. 3-point game. 16 seconds left. St. Mary's has 3 timeouts. Coach Martins has already called for his timeout. Big one right here for the junior out of Houston. No good. Barbosa the rebound. 15.2 to go, and Jason Martins can draw up a play. He's going to put the ball right in front of us. What a fourth quarter for St. Mary's. Again, if you look at the way this thing was going, it wasn't very pretty. Again, it started out 16-2, but the Rattlers scored 23 points in the second quarter, down 4 at halftime. They watched that go back up to 9 at the end of the third quarter. It became quickly 13, but St. Mary's ripped off 12 in a row. They got it back down, and it's kind of seesawed back and forth to one possession. St. Mary's has not tied. They have not led. They've had it down to 2 a couple times. Right now, it is a 3-point game. But, you know, as we talked about at the end of the first half, St. Mary's, with as tough a shooting day as they have had, still have an opportunity. Rattlers, by the way, 1-2 in games decided by 5 points or less. Kingsville is 1-1. Keep that in the back of your brain. Both teams are in the bonus. Rattlers in this second half are 8 of 23. Kingsville, they've struggled. I don't know if they've made a field goal yet. Wilson catches. Maya Culver, the pass is off. 11 seconds. Maya drives, leans in, all kinds of contact, and a blocking foul, says Mark Veer, the umpire, who is in good position to see that, because I think if that's forced on Jeff Rossow, he might call the other because he couldn't really tell, quite honestly. I mean, that was nothing against him. That's just how the flow of the game sort of came at him. Maya Culver at the line shooting 2. There's 8.6 seconds left. Still a lot of time. First one is up, and it is no good. And Coach Martin saying, hey, we got to get this rebound. This is big on Hannah Wilson and Jessie Barbosa. Second toss, no good. Bella Hughes inside the lane. All kinds of contact. It's tied up, and the possession arrow is in favor of St. Mary's. They're going to catch a big one. 4 seconds left. Jason Martins has 2 timeouts left, and he'll use another one. Right down to the wire. How much fun is this? By the way, these two teams have never played overtime. Rattlers have won 6 of the 8 games that have been played here at Bill Greehey Arena. Update individually on scores. The leading scorer is Bella Hughes for St. Mary's with 16. Hannah Wilson has her 4th double-double, 14 points and 11 rebounds. The second leading scorer in the conference today, Soteria Banks, has just 5 points. She has hardly played in this 4th quarter. And again, I believe coach's decision. I think so's okay. Can't confirm that talk. We talked with Coach Martins. But on the other side, Kingsville led today by Anastasia Mickens, who's played very well. 15 points. Bridget Upton has 13. 9 for Solis, 8 each for Purnell and Johnson. It's been a very balanced attack from Texas A&M Kingsville, but I'm telling you, they have not had a lot working for them in this 4th quarter. They have gotten a lot of their work at the free throw line. I mean, that just makes it all the difference. Remember, it was a 13-point game with 9:41 to play here at the start of this 4th quarter. It is a 3-point game right now. The Rattlers have one more chance. And again, I don't believe, one field goal. There has been one field goal by Kingsville here in this 4th quarter. That was their and one opportunity that was very well executed from Mouton inside to Mickens. Rattlers draw it up with 4 seconds left. They look for the 3 now. Hughes catches. She is hit on the arm, and a late whistle and a foul on the 3-point attempt. Well, that was Mark Veer's responsibility, and it came at a difficult time. Michael Madrid, and again, it's not as much you're upset about the foul, you're upset about the timing of the foul. I mean, that came 2.5 seconds after the shot, it felt like. And they might be looking at this replay. See if the officials want to put any time back on. Bella Hughes gets 3 free throws. Bella is 7 of 10 today. Big ones for her. Free throw number 1 is good. Pressure shots right here for the freshman. She's got to make all 3. 2-point game. Argyle, Texas native, has made 2. One more and she'll tie it. If not, Kingsville has no timeout. St. Mary's has 1. That rebound is going to be for everything. Hopefully you like some pressure. Bella Hughes, couple low dribbles. Good to tie the game with 1.5 seconds remaining. Inbounds backcourt. Rattlers stay away at the buzzer. It's online, but too strong from Jalen Johnson. And for the first time this season, the St. Mary's Rattlers will head to overtime. 57 all. The Rattlers have erased a 13-point deficit in the fourth quarter. What a job by Bella Hughes to hit 3 nail-biting free throws at the end of regulation. Holy smokes. So St. Mary's in overtime for the first time since a year ago and about a month and a half, 2 months actually. Last time it was overtime. It was pretty thrilling here. St. Mary's knocked off the number 1 team in the country at the time. That was Central Missouri in double overtime. We'll see how things change for Texas A&M Kingsville. It's also been a few years since they played overtime. 2 years ago. They played actually 4 of them, but the last game they played was the final game of the 2018-2019 season. Rattlers, again, as we mentioned, 1 year ago. They have not played in overtime since. But the last overtime game that the Javelinas played, they did win. Appreciate Tom for helping us out. Tom Norris, he's the guy, by the way. If you see him, say hi. Tell him thanks for all his work. Appreciate all our crew today. As mentioned, 1 field goal in the fourth quarter for Texas A&M Kingsville. They went 1 of 11. It was a 3-point play. They were 5 of 7 at the line, but how about St. Mary's? They get a couple of threes, but they go 9 for 15, including pressure free throws from Bella Hughes. It's always exciting for coaches to see that happen to a young player. It almost brings that little bit, as coaches have told me, it brings that tear to your eye because you're like, man, I'm so excited about this kid. We're so excited about this kid. And to watch them come through in that moment, huge. All right, here we go. Put 5 minutes on the clock. Rattlers in the white, Kingsville in the blues. Rattlers looking for 5 in a row. That is kept alive. Tip of the toss is 1. St. Mary's will start with it. Sydney Hardiman, Alexia Torres, Hannah Wilson, Bella Hughes, and Jessie Barbosa on deck in white. On the other side, it's Upton, Johnson, Mickens, Solis, and Mouton to start for Kingsville, it looks like. Actually, we got Angelica Wall, who is out there right now. Wilson catches. She's got a double-double, goes right at Wall. Shot is no good. Rebound is still free as it's spun away by Solis. What a job by the returning redshirt sophomore out of San Angelo, Texas. That's a great play. Wall thinks a long time about the 3 and will bring it back. Again, you look at it for Kingsville. 1 for their last 11 from the field coming into overtime. They scored just 7 points in that fourth quarter. 6 of them, make it 5 of them at the foul line. 5 to shoot. They've got to hustle. Inside the lane, Johnson contested, and that shot is off. St. Mary's with another rebound underneath with Hannah Wilson, who's got 12, 14 and 12, having another strong game. How will St. Mary's attack offensively here in OT? Torres, deflected pass, great defense by Jalen Johnson. Foul by St. Mary's as Torres was going to go over and help up Bridget Upton. Again, the fouls carry over, I believe, in the women's game and the men's game for that matter. So we'll see if that's the case or not, or if they are going to go down and throw it to the other end. A little bit of confusion as the officials are looking at one another. And it is at the line for 2 shots will be Bridget Upton. Upton, the leading scorer most of this game before Anastasia Mickens crossed with a bucket and 2 more as Deja Purnell, the junior out of Kansas City, Missouri, will check in. Out goes Angelica Wall. 2 shots at the line for Bridget Upton. First one is no good. Tied at 57. We are in overtime. Rattlers have erased a 13-point deficit. They have still not led. If you can believe that. Second free throw is good from Upton, who has only attempted 7 free throws on the season. 1-point advantage for the visitors out of Kingsville, trying to find a way to get one. Hardiman and St. Mary's with it. They attack half-court right. Bella Hughes, the team's leading scorer at 19. She's 2 away from her career high. As Torres tries to throw it inside to Wilson, who catches. There's 2 defenders there. Back out, Hughes for 2. Shot is up and is no good. Jessie Barbosa skies and has the rebound. Big offensive board right there. That is the 10th of the game for St. Mary's as that 3 is no good. Rebound is free, and Deja Purnell brings it in. Rattlers are 0 for 3 in overtime to start this thing up. St. Mary's has gotten the rebounds back to -1. Dominated for most of this game on the glass. In fact, it was +10 at one point at the high point. 2:50 to play in overtime. Three-pointer, Johnson. That one grazed the rim, but that's it. Barbosa's got now 7 rebounds. Has not scored today. Coming off her first career double-double as Torres drives and lays it up. She missed it. Wilson's got the offensive rebound, and she'll go up strong, and the shot is good and one. What a job inside by Hannah Wilson. 16 tonight. And I'll tell you what, you look at both benches, you see one side trying, grinding, trying to get it together. On the other side, it just kind of seems like hope is starting to fall away as St. Mary's has their first lead of the game. It comes with 2:34 to play in overtime. Can the Rattlers keep up their stellar defense? 1 for their last 13 are Kingsville going back to the fourth quarter. They hit 1 bucket in that frame. Deja Purnell turns the corner, pulled up 2, is up and rims out. Jessie Barbosa's got the miss. Kingsville 3-9. They're 2-8 in the Lone Star Conference. St. Mary's is 7-7, 6-4. They've won 4 in a row as Bella Hughes rims it up and out from downtown. Oh, that would have been big. Under 2 to play in OT. Rebound away to Jalen Johnson, who now has 10 boards in this game. That's the team high. Solis is close also with 8. Behind the back goes Upton. 2-point game. Spins the ball back around. Mouton holding it. Made a great pass in the fourth quarter to get the only bucket as we got a foul away from the ball as Wilson looking on Solis as Hannah Wilson picks up her 4th personal foul. No subs yet for Jason Martins here in overtime. He is sticking with his group. He is gone into that bench, but again, Soteria Banks, not sure if she's not feeling well or whatnot, but the second leading scorer in the Lone Star Conference, again, not playing fourth quarter or overtime. Had a tough game around that as the free throw is good from Brianna Solis. She's now got 10 points. That's her first double-figure game of the year. Was injured early, but she started now 7 straight. She ties the game up at 60. Second tie of the game. 90 seconds to go. Overtime. First overtime game for the Rattlers this season. First overtime game in 2+ seasons for Kingsville. Torres, left side, Jessie Barbosa with it, back up top, Bella Hughes, the leading scorer with 19, drives, kicks it to her right, Hardiman drives baseline, scoots it across, inside the lane, Jessie Barbosa, strong to the cup, laid it up, she missed the shot, a rebound to Bridget Upton. Numbers for Kingsville as they hustle. Down court, Upton out of control, threw up a wild shot, it's no good. I don't think Upton ever got it quite together. Coach Madrid was looking for a call, he didn't get it. Instead, Hughes at the other end for 3! It's good! Count it and the bucket, and Bella Hughes will have a chance at the 4-point play with 53.5 seconds to play in overtime. Holy cow. How about Bella Hughes? The freshman with a new career high. She had 21 in the Oklahoma Christian game. She had a chance to set the school record that day. Just missed it by a bit. Bonus is good. Second time Bella gets that 4-pointer. 52 seconds left. Does Kingsville have any offense left? They have not made a shot in overtime yet. Wall will play it around to Mouton. Again, Kingsville has been holding the ball most of the game. Upton pushes, and a foul is called, and that might be on Hannah Wilson. And if it is, Hannah's done. So Hannah Wilson comes out with 42.5 seconds left. That drops a lot down to Jessie Barbosa, and now Maya Culver is going to come in. So go a little bit smaller, maybe another ball handler right here. Maya's played pretty well today. 2 shots at the line for Bridget Upton, who's got 14, 4 points, 4 assists in this game. First free throw is up, and it is good. Upton's 4th double-figure game. It is a new season high. Second toss is up, 2-point game with 42 seconds left. Again, both teams are in the bonus. Coach Madrid saying, come on, let's get a stop. I mean, they really are. Again, they're a stop away again for having the chance. Kingsville's been in this position already. Torres around over to Maya Kohler. Maya holding on to it. We'll give the ball back out. Hughes with it. Rattler's going to use some time. Hardiman over to Torres. Remember, Alexia's hit a big one. Maya Culliver for three. Jumper is no good. That ball's on the top of the backboard, and that is a violation, and that's the stop that Michael Madrid's team was looking for. That was big. 17.6 seconds to play. Whew. What a fun one we've had. Hope you've enjoyed it as well. Today's game is presented by Nike. Shop your style with Nike shoes for running, training, basketball, and more. Shop Nike.com for the ultimate selection of shoes, clothing, and apparel. Free shipping for members plus free 30-day returns. Nike. Just do it. I'll tell you what. If you're a team on the road and I were to tell you you're going to have a chance to win the game by hitting one shot in the fourth quarter and one shot in overtime, what would you say? Most people, I feel like, would tell me that's the craziest thing I've ever heard, Andrew, because that's just not possible. Well, that's certainly the opportunity for Kingsville, whether they hit a three, they hit a two and get fouled and have a chance to go to the line. They have a chance to win this game. 17.6 seconds to go. In fourth quarter and overtime, Texas A&M Kingsville has hit one shot in their last 16 attempts. Tough goal for them. Outscored 19-7 in the fourth quarter by St. Mary's. Rattlers have scored 7 in the bonus period, 5 for Kingsville. Bella Hughes has a career-high 23 points. Made 3 ice in her vein free throws at the end of regulation to send it to overtime. Not to be forgotten, the Alexia Torres three-pointer with 15 seconds left that gave that to be a possibility. Rattlers got a couple of breaks. Shot clock is off. Kingsville is either going home with a win or they're falling for the 10th time. Johnson, 6 seconds. Upton for 3. Rims up and out. Jessie Barbosa's got the rebound. She can hold it, and that's it. Jason Martins with his 250th career victory shakes hands with his buddy Michael Madrid, and the Rattlers have a 5-game winning streak as they win 64-62. What a basketball game, folks. What a game. That was a lot of fun. We're going to stay on air. We've got Bella Hughes, who's going to come and join us momentarily, so stick around for that. We'll get that all set up. We'll get her on right now. We can get her on, yeah. Hey, Bella, what's going on? Congratulations. Big game for you today, huh? It's always good to be able to feel that. That was a wild game, wasn't it?
It was.
Take me down as the fourth quarter starts. You guys are down 13 points, and you've kind of been in this long enough to be like, okay, I understand this is a hard hill to climb, but what helps you get all the way up and then finally over it tonight?
We were down so much that I knew we needed threes, and they undercut a lot of our threes. So, I mean, all I really had to do was exaggerate that, and I got the call like every time, and that's really like got our momentum going, you know?
Well, I tell you, it's tough when you're not shooting the ball well today. I know you guys didn't shoot the ball the way that you have, especially in the last 4 games, but when it's not working out, you have to be willing to be aggressive. It seemed like you were willing to do that today.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about those last 3 free throws. I mean, everybody's watching, everybody, the men's teams are in here looking on as to what's going on. You have to make all 3. You didn't seem fazed by that at all.
Yeah. I mean, I was just trying to ignore everyone, stay in my head and try to ignore all the people saying, miss it, and just act like it was practice.
It's kind of nice when coaches say, hey, this is a game-like situation when you're practicing those free throws and there's nobody around, that could come into play. As a freshman, to be able to do that in a home game in front of your friends, what does that mean to you today?
It meant a lot, especially leading up to this game. My free throw percentage hasn't been that good. So, I mean, I know how to put those in for us to be able to get back and win.
Hey, 11 for 14 is going to help that number, so don't worry, it's going to go up. Congrats on a big win today.
Thank you.
Bella Hughes joining us here on the post-game show. Her team wins it 64-62 in overtime. We'll come back after this quick timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network. I think we'll actually go ahead and stay right here. Appreciate Bella Hughes for coming over and joining us. Career high today, 23 points. And I was going to get Bella back to the locker room. She's tired, man. She worked hard, and she deserves it. Big victory for St. Mary's as they get the job done here today at home. They've got a 5-game win streak. We're going to talk with Jason Martin's going to let him catch his breath. We will talk with him in between games. I think he'll be happy to wait around and hang out with us. But what a victory for the Rattlers here today, 64-62. St. Mary's 8-7 now on the season, 7-4 in league play. They've got their long winning streak of the year at 5 games. Their 7th victory in conference play. Those are all huge numbers. And I thought St. Mary's did a great job defensively to set themselves up very well. Not to be forgotten, there were a lot of big plays in this game. I thought Hannah Wilson played exceptional, 17 points, 14 rebounds. She did foul out in overtime. And again, you can't forget about Lex Torres, who had 5 assists in this game. I challenged her to shoot the ball a little bit. She hits the biggest 3 of the game with 15 seconds left. It took it from a 6-point game to a 3-point game. She makes that. Her team ultimately generates a couple of extra possessions, and they find a way to win in overtime. 64-62, they outscore Texas A&M Kingsville 7-5, by the way, in the extra frame. They gave up 1 field goal in the 4th quarter in overtime. That's the last 15 minutes of this game. What it means is St. Mary's, again, they're 8-7. They're now 7-4 in league play. They're also 3-0 in the division, which is helpful come a little bit later on as you start talking postseason. For Kingsville, they do drop their 9th game in their last 11 tries, so they've got some things to work on there. But I'll tell you what, Michael Madrid's going to get that thing turned around, man. He knows what he's doing, and Javelinas will be back to being very good very soon. Upton finishes as the team's leading scorer. She missed the potential game-winning 3, 16 points tonight, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 15 for Mickens, and 7 rebounds. And Solis had 11 points and 8 boards. Johnson and Purnell each with 8. The Javelinas fall to 3-10. They're 2-9 in Lone Star Conference play. All right, we're going to stop for just a little bit. We'll bring you back here in about 10 minutes. We'll get you ready for the men's game. We're going to talk to Coach Z. Rattlers and Javelinas on the men's side. Coming up next, this is Rattler basketball after a win by the Lady Rattlers 64-62 in overtime.